players for this ZvP. So, we start to the bottom left-hand side of the map on Lost and Found, where we do have our red Terran player. This is Dark. And to the upper right-hand side, our teal Protoss player is Cyan. And let's see what these two will get up to in this Protoss versus Zerg matchup. Cyan is definitely one of those Chinese players who I feel is very... he's a little bit I don't know if underrated is the word, because honestly he was very hyped up when he was doing well, and he quite literally just fell off the the bandwagon. You know, he fell off his play start. You know, his play dropped. He was doing so well when it came. You know, when we look back and we think about 2016, I'd like to say, and he was playing so well. He got into the finals of the NSL, after the Neo Star League, after over parting. He did. You know, he was like the Chinese player to watch out for. In 2017, he really just dropped off. In 2018, he just didn't come back, as you know we thought he would. And it's like a very typical Chinese scene sort of thing to do, where you don't have so great of a time in your first match. You know, you come up, you're a big player, suddenly you're doing really well, you're beating everyone, you're the player to watch out for, and suddenly you just drop away. The only Chinese player we've had recently that hasn't kind of risen up and then dropped off very quickly is Time. He's been pretty consistent. But even Time has failed to really deliver in non-Chinese events. Every time he visits WCS, he really doesn't make it past round of 32. Every time he made it to Codes in Korea, that's obviously fantastic, but again, once he was into Codes, he didn't really have much beyond that either. So a little bit of an interesting story in the Chinese scene with all these players that just don't quite seem to make it as far as you would imagine. Overlord coming across towards the upper right-hand side, going to be popping on in here. And as things obviously get going, what's up to everyone out in the chat again? I'd love to talk to you a little bit more today, but unfortunately because we're casting WCS later, we are on a 3-minute delay, which means that we are very simply just going to not have much of a chance to talk, but I'll still try and say hello to you all whenever I can. Just do remember it's going to be a bit of a delay on the responses. So what's up, Slightly Stupid in the chat saying good morning, and hello everyone else out there as well. Again, I hope you're ready for some great StarCraft today, because we are going to be live all day long. And again, right now, the idea is to follow the winner of this match into their matchup against Hero, and that should be pretty cool as well. There's some other cool matches going to be starting up as well in the near future, I imagine. And again, once Yushi versus Innovation is wrapped up on the other screen, we might very well be following some of those as well. And just as this early game ZvP gets started, I'm just going to put the picture-in-picture up for a moment, because Yushi is attacking into Innovation here on the side screen on that other matchup that we've been following over the last little while. As you can kind of see, not too much happening. It's really just Innovation waiting to be attacked. It looks as though that's going to happen right now, and the Widow Mines are going to start going off. So that fight is happening over there. As in the meantime, we're watching these couple of Adepts. They're getting ready to come in on this PvZ to maybe try and harass a little bit in towards. Looks as though Innovation has full control of that game, and hence the series he'll have control of, because he'll be winning the series if this game does end right here. So looks as though Innovation is doing pretty good in his game number 2. As again, right now, these Adepts are shading around, seeing where they can go. So Phoenix is picking away at this Overlord. Overlord will go down. A few wings at the front going to be starting to do some damage. Pylon going to get him down behind the Adept, and does just block those wings off. So he's now actually working their way through the Cybernetics core, and well, that Warp Gate's actually in a little bit of trouble. Recall back home, and Dark is really applying some pressure here. 2 Adepts, I don't think it's going to be enough. Oh my god, if you lose Cybernetics core with a Warp Gate on it, where do you even go from there? Obviously, Dark committed to a lot of Zerglings here. He hasn't been on a massive worker count, and that is his disadvantage. He's down 10 workers, but no Warp Gate is absolutely insane to have to try and play against. It's going to be difficult. We are going to be seeing these Lingers backing away for the moment, the Oracle helping out with that, and we'll kind of wait to see what happens next. Alright then, guys, as an update, Innovation did take down Yushi 2-0. It's Innovation through to the next round, and again, I think we're going to watch out for either Rogue Alive or Leanox Zest as a match to get into on the second screen next. But again, enough of that for now, and let's see what these Oracles are going to get up to as they do come across the map to apply a bit more pressure, trying to poke at the front of these Zerglings still, but not finding too much success just yet. I mean, maybe he gets this gateway though. There's still only a couple of Adepts here. I mean, I guess that's the real negative of not having Warp Gates. There's only so many units he can build, and his whole Gate production is not going great for him right now. This Gateway production is not going great for him right now. The Cybercore, I mean, not just, I guess, the lack of Warp Gate, but the fact he didn't have a Cybercore meant he could only make Zealots. They don't even help if they're on the wrong side of the wall, of course. 2 Oracles, I mean, an Oracle and a Spot Crawler and a Queen should be able to push this away. Yes, he'll lose a couple of drones, But again, I think Dark's done enough damage in other places for this to be completely fine. One hit point Oracle gets away. Will this second Oracle survive too? Yes, it will. So both Oracles get away alive. As you see, another Oracle just sat at the front here. I mean, he kind of had to build another Oracle, because what else was he going to be able to use to get through this, well, you know, to be able to deal with these Zerglings? There really wasn't anything that was kind of viable for him right there. So, Romy, how you doing? Thank you so much for the 4-month resub coming on through. Thank you very much for the resubscription. Do appreciate it. We do have a few Lings here going to be coming along to the right side, trying to lay that third Nexus from coming down, but not really enough Lings left over. And of course, Dark hasn't really looked to make more Zerglings in a long time. He's been very focused instead on making drones and getting his saturation up. +1 melee finishes, but again, with the Oracles here, it's not really a trade which you can end up winning in any scenario, so you just have to back away of those Zerglings. And he's actually going to morph in Bane, so now he will make some more Lings, and he will get aggressive again. I mean, can you blame him? This is one hell of a wall-off. I mean, it doesn't really look like much of a wall-off at all, because it is just such a mess. As we do have 5 Oracles approaching the main base. Dark is not really prepared for 5 Oracles. I mean, he only has 6 queens on the map. I mean, I say only, but 6 queens isn't actually too many, especially when the first queen dies just like this. The Spore Crawl will take some damage. That first Oracle very nearly goes down, but not quite. 4 Oracles are left to fight on these next couple of queens. And you will get one of the queens that's super high on energy, so the one with transfusions goes down. Bane's actually going towards the third base, which actually does a good amount of damage onto the initial Adepts and Zealots. 2 more Oracles showing up, though, for double Stargate production. Oh, Dark, is he able to do enough here? Can he get a cancel on this Nexus? I don't think so. I really would have liked it if the Banes had gone off over here, then run by into the natural, the main base. Would have been very cool, as we do see Dark coming back around the top side. And yeah, another couple of Oracles going to be popping out here. Charges on the way up from Cyan as well, +1 armor too. These Oracles still just kind of flying overhead, and those things continue to move around. So Zealot's going to get fully surrounded here, and they're going to go down pretty quick with that +1 melee upgrade. Again, the Oracles pop their Pulsar beams to kind of turn them away, but it still takes a little while to really push these back. Lingers in the end do end up falling back in towards the center of the map. A couple of gateways going to come up over here as well. +2 melee attack on the way up from Dark right now. The Burrow also coming down, so you can get maybe a couple of surprise Burrowed Banes off. That'd be really nice. I mean, anything can go a long way for him right now in this game. As we do see this Phoenix just flying around from earlier in the game is just maybe looking for overlords, just some general vision. Again, not really many units over here. The sentry's a little bit out of location right from the get-go, so the force field's not going to be amazing. But I guess it does the job. The shield battery here is obviously working its way through as well. The Oracles are going to commit across the map. Double Spore Crawler gets 1 Oracle kill very quickly, and a second. He's target firing down the low health Oracles, which is really awesome, because obviously it means he gets guaranteed kills. The Lings don't do that much over here in the end, though. It is a defense from Cyan in the end. He's able to push that away. More Lings still just gathering together. What I find so interesting is that obviously it's not mass Oracle, but it's pretty high Oracle count. He's still making more, and yet Dark has not made any, shown any intentions of going in towards like a Hydralisk Den or anything like that. He's actually just gone up into Infestation Pit, so he's still playing purely Ling Bane against this. Which is interesting, because at some point he has to have some sort of an answer to the Oracles, right? Well, here you go. This time the Banes will go towards the natural, and this time I think it will cause some more issues in terms of, well, what happens next. Pylons go down, so he actually unpowers the front, and now the run by. I think this is where it gets very deadly, right? Because these Lings are going to shred their way through so many of these probes so quickly. The probe, oh my god, they just ran into a big Baneling hit there as well, so that's really painful now as these Lings. I mean, there's no shield battery here either, and now it also opens up the opportunity to run to the third base a bit further. He gets another couple of Zealot kills. Absolute chaos around the entirety of the map right now. This Baneling Burrow is the last Baneling that remains, and 50, 60 more Zerglings on the way in the production tab, as Dark is not going to let this go. A few Zealots charge forwards, and we are going to be seeing those Zerglings getting kicked off. A few Lings just burrowed away in this natural mineral line as well. And again, more Zerglings coming around the top side here. They're going to get ready to run towards the main, the natural. In the next few moments, there's a couple of Revelations coming down. These Oracles are still on the offensive, but they're not really finding that much damage because of the Queens. Lings into the main base once again. There's Lings also on the natural. I mean, this is just starting to turn a bit faster. There's High Templar that are coming out, but they're not even able to morph into an Archon because they're fully surrounded by Zerglings once again. I mean, that's a nice warp in to stop the Lings from getting through in towards the natural, but there's already some Lings in the natural, and they're already doing so much damage. Finally, the Oracles come back and they actually try to defend instead of attacking, which maybe should have been the answer a long time ago. GG's called, and Dark will take game 1 of the series. But again, this maybe wins on Cyan's build choice, I'm sure, as we get ourselves into game number 2. To the top left-hand side, our red Zerg player is Dark. up 1-0 right now in the series. And in the bottom right-hand side, our teal Protoss is Cyan. What's up, Level BW with the Twitch Prime sub for 8 months in a row. How are you doing? Says, welcome back, Wardy. Well, thank you so much for welcoming me back. And welcome back to the stream yourself. How are you doing? Thank you so much for following around, saying hello. And thank you so much for the 8 months of support. Does mean a lot. Does go a long way. Do appreciate it. I just want to check very quickly. I just scan the bracket up on my other screen, just so I can have a little bit of a look to see who's who. Ah, that's Trap. Got it. So Trap is taking down Ryung 2-1. I was wondering who the person with the Ryung tag was, and it actually is Trap. That's really confusing, considering they played against each other. Alright, Alive is still waiting for an opponent. This maybe about to start versus Lenok, but I kind of like to get at least a different matchup on the other screen. I think Rogue Alive would be pretty cool as well, so I'm going to keep an eye out for Rogue versus Alive starting up at some point, and hopefully we can kind of go from there. Give me a quick moment as well. I need to delete the Sneak Energy command from the channel. Oh my god. It's been forever since I had to figure things out. Alright, there we go. Alright, so game number 2. Dark versus Cyan. We do see a third hatchery already coming down from Dark, so hatch gas pool into the very fast third hatch. Not really messing around at all when it comes to how he sets up here in game number 2. Just very standard, just a very straight up way to get going to begin with. And we'll see where we go from here now. Do you see this Overlord of Dark is currently moving forwards? So heading in towards the main base, he's going to be having a little bit of a look to see what might happen from the Protoss side of things. Obviously, we're just waiting to see the tech choice coming down from Cyan. It is going to be that very typical Stargate, so not really much of a surprise, pretty much what we expect this to be for the moment. And the Stargate coming on up. Overlord flying in towards the main base is obviously going to be a little bit in trouble when it comes to the Stargate, and obviously the Phoenix can definitely come through to pick it off, but I mean, you see it early, you see the Stargate. I wonder if right now you still go for the Phoenix, or if you just go for the Oracle right away. I guess you can just go for the Phoenix, right? I mean, because then you push the Overlord away in time for you to put your second tech structure down without it being seen. So I guess you still go Phoenix first. There's been a while though when Oracle first into Phoenix was still very popular too, and that might be something we see now. Generally, if you do that, you'd go for a second Oracle because you wouldn't be, because you have the, you know, because you don't kill the Overlord for a while, you don't want to put your tech down. And so if you don't want to put your tech down, you generally have the gas to build the second Oracle. So 2 Lings make their way into the natural, they're not going to find damage, a little bit of lost mining time, but I mean, the reality is these couple of Lings are going to get dealt with and they are going to go down, so Lings do fall. And across the map, these couple of Adepts are going to start shading through in towards the main base. And Missile's 1 drone kill already, now a second one. Now the shade up in towards the main is coming down. This is quite nice actually, he gets himself free and maybe 4 work kills. Really nicely done by those Adepts, that's really awesome damage. 2 Adepts for 4 drones, love to see that. However, Dark, well, he's getting aggressive and that might be the issue, because he's got a Baneling Nest already. He's on 19 drones, obviously he wanted to be on a couple more than this, but whatever. He is going to all in with the Ling Bane. Now, there is an Oracle on its way out, these Lings are approaching the front. Did he actually cancel? No, the Phoenix did come up. And that's why he is supply blocked, of course. And these Banes, as they finish morphing in, he could lift up one of them. My issue is this shield battery could heal these Adepts and maybe tank the Banes a little bit. He's actually just going to throw down another shield battery. Finish the wall off here. These Banes coming forward, the Lings. Ooh, well, actually the Banes don't matter so much right now. And he is going to get us through. That's going to be pretty much game over. That's deadly. I mean, getting straight through here. Yes, there's another Oracle on the way, but there's going to be so much damage dealt. More Banes coming through, busting through once again. And those 2 Banes don't actually know what they want to do. Looks as though they're just going to sit at the front and kind of hold on for now. Next Oracle comes out, which will definitely help. More Lings are on their way across. In general here, just going in towards the mineral line. The probes are even stacking up down here. And that's going to be messy, down to 19 probes against the 19 drones. The issue is more Lings are going to start streaming in right now, and the second Oracle is running out of energy already. A couple of Lings going to morph into Banes in position here now too. Those Lings actually running around. I feel like they could maybe try and grab that Adept or so. And that's got this pylon to come and deal with here at some point, which is going to be something he really has to do, otherwise he's going to be in some trouble. Probe's going to take another shot, and again with more Banes coming forwards, there's just so much more potential for damage here. He realizes he's going to get at least 3 probes over there. Slider the X-Core goes down too, that's painful, and it actually opens up the wall again, so it's not a complete wall off, and Cyan didn't have the money to build anything anyways. So that's pretty much going to be it as these Lings continue to move on forwards. And this Adept's going to start going down, these probes are going down as well. And this is going to be GG. Dark takes game number 2 of this best of 3. Dark advances into the next round of competition, which is where he will play Hero.